Today we're out here filming the #1 home builder in Boise, Idaho, and I'd say almost every single person that is moving to Boise ends up looking at one of these homes by this builder. As you guys can see, all of these signs, they build a lot of homes here, and it is CBH. So we weren't able to film, so this is the start of a lot of new videos with CBH. We're gonna go over floor plans, all of the things you need to know about them, and today we're gonna go over one of their most popular floor plans that has oftentimes a minimum of a 1/4 acre lot, sometimes bigger. It's one of their biggest floor plans. Plus they have some of the most affordable homes, new construction in the entire valley. So we're gonna go over that. And we're also gonna go over the area because this is not just a channel for looking at pretty homes. This is a channel for people moving to Boise that actually want valuable information and things that are gonna help you in your decision to move to Boise. So stay around for that and subscribe to the channel because not only do I try to provide you guys valuable information, but now that we have CBH, we're gonna go over a lot of their new floor plans. They have tons of floor plans, and sometimes it's nice to be able to see them, see which floor plans you like best, because like I said, there's a lot of people, almost every single person that ends up looking at a CBH home. Okay, we're out here at the first house, which we're gonna take a look at, but for those of you who are new, I do something where I hide Duck Norris in the video, and if you find him, I send you a Starbucks gift card, so it's the first person to comment the timestamp where he was at in the video, and I'll send you a Starbucks gift card. And for those of you watching on the TV right now at home, I know it's hard to type a comment, so just shoot me a text and I'll get you that Starbucks gift card. But here is probably one of their most popular floor plans. When these come on the market, they usually sell really quick. As you guys can see or might have seen it, this one is sold now. But this is the Milano 3250. So the floor plan is the Milano. This is a 3,200 square foot home. And like I said, you guys can see how big the front yard is. You'll see when we get to the back, they almost always put it on a corner lot. And so most of the time you can almost assume it's gonna be almost a 1/4 acre or at least 0.2 acres. And then sometimes they even get to 1/3 of an acre with some of the lot sizes with this house. Now we're actually gonna get into the house. I forgot to get the key and then it was locked. And if you're new here, you're gonna learn that on this channel, we try to stay really authentic, make you guys feel like you're just a part of the home tour, and obviously give you guys valuable information that is actually useful for you guys. So if you do work with me, you get all of me, all of my flaws. So we'll talk about that later, but want to show you guys this floor plan. The Milano is a favorite. My stepdad and my siblings actually live in this floor plan, so it's funny touring it because we're so used to seeing it. But right off the bat, you get a second living area. My stepdad has it set up as a piano room. A lot of people will have this as a TV room, and then they'll keep that more formal, or vice versa. You can turn this into a playroom. Lots of options here. But as we go through this house, you guys will see how big this is and why it's so popular. Then on the other side of the front, you have your office space, and this is a really good size office, but it's not wasted space. Sometimes people will just turn a whole bedroom into an office. So kind of a nice office room without the doors. It's easy to add stuff like that too. Like if you do want privacy, it's not that hard to add doors in after the fact. And as we go through CBH homes, that's one thing that you guys will notice is they're one of the most affordable. They do build the most, but they're a blank slate. So you get a lot of the basics depending on which house, and we'll talk more about some of these details that you need to know for CBH, but they're really a blank slate, and they're a good opportunity to get in at an affordable price and then upgrade your home over time. But we'll talk about that more as we go through the house. Right off the front, you come into your kitchen area and then your second living area, and you have a fireplace in this floor plan, which is a good opportunity to talk about CBH, where you can only buy CBH homes that are move-in ready. They don't build or allow you to semi-custom build like Hayden Homes would, and I've talked about Hayden Homes a lot. So whatever they have available is what you buy. And so in a community in Star, which we're in Meridian right now, they may have the same exact floor plan, but they don't have a fireplace. Other ones, they'll have a fireplace, but they won't have the quartz countertops like they do in this kitchen. And so every house is gonna be pretty much completely different. And there's pros and cons to that. It's obviously what makes CBH so affordable, what allows them to build so many homes. And there's downsides, obviously, is you might love a floor plan, but we just can't find the color options. But something that you guys want to know if you're looking at CBH houses. Kitchen here, you have smaller walk-in pantry for a 3,200 square foot home. You have your oven, your microwave here. The sink's gonna be here. And then while we're here, I'll just show you guys right off the bat. This is one of the examples of their huge lots that they have for this floor plan to give you guys, to really show you how big some of these lots can get for a really affordable price. And you guys, I think, are gonna be really surprised by the price of this home after we go through all of this. But as you guys can see, this lot is absolutely huge for this type of home. Usually you only find a lot this big in your luxury communities out in Star and Middleton. But this house is gonna be, I mean, this is almost a half acre, or it might even be a half acre lot. And for the price of this home, the size of this home, and we're in Meridian. So we're in North Meridian right now. We're 5 minutes to Costco, Walmart, 10 minutes, not even 10 minutes, 7 minutes to Winco, Fred Meyer, all of the restaurants in Meridian. You have easy access to the interstate down here. You're off 10 miles. So we're in an absolutely outstanding area. And for those of you who are like, where the heck's Meridian? What are you talking about? Meridian is the biggest suburb. It's centralized in Boise. It's 15 minutes from pretty much everything in the valley. And it's one of the most popular suburbs in all of Boise. So give you a quick idea there. But really good example of how big some of these lots can get with CBH. And for a 3,200 square foot home, the price is absolutely outstanding. But let's continue with this house. And anytime we have these CBH videos, it's really gonna be a video where I'm trying to show you guys the floor plan, what it looks like, because CBH doesn't stage their houses. And just seeing the house, seeing the floor plan quickly, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, and here's a door with a closet and go through in detail, because you really just want to get a good layout, see what the home looks like, and then move on to the next floor plan. And in this video, we're going to go through 3 floor plans. So I'm going to show you their most popular one in the bigger sizes, then we're going to go to a medium one, and then I'm going to show you a single story home, which are some of their most popular that are in the $350,000 range to $450,000 range, depending on which suburb you're in. And that one's gonna have a 3-car garage. So stay for the end where I show you that. But let's continue with this house. You have another, or I guess the only real bedroom on the first floor. And what's nice about this bedroom is that it has a full bath right off the top. So you can either use it as kind of a mother-in-law style suite where they can live downstairs, have their own bathroom, or it's a really good spot for a guest because then they have their own bathroom. They're not being bothered. And that's the first floor. So lots of space downstairs. And if you haven't guessed, there's no master down here. All of the bedrooms are upstairs. CBH is known for that in their 2 stories. I think they only have 2 floor plans that have the master downstairs. Almost all of their 2-story floor plans have all of the bedrooms upstairs. So that's one thing to know about CBH. But we'll head upstairs and show you guys all of those rooms. And again, we're gonna talk more about CBH process, pricing, incentive, and then more about the area that we're in and go through all that. Okay, now we're upstairs. Just a quick layout. Master bedrooms here. You have 2 bedrooms on the other side, and then you have this flex space right here. And this is another thing CBH is really well known for, is they always give you really good flex space in their 2 stories. So you have another kind of TV, game, homeschool area in the upstairs. And before we go into the other bedrooms, one thing I want to talk about in this video, for it being the first one on CBH, is I always get questions on the quality of CBH. There's been some things in the past with CBH that were a problem, but now they're one of the homes that I will sell. There's builders in Boise that I will not sell you guys because I don't want to put you guys in a bad house. CBH is not one of those. So I'm going to talk about some of those misconceptions, some of the reviews that you might see online. And I'm also going to talk about some of the other builders that I really won't sell and give you guys a better understanding of why that is. But let's finish going through the Milano. So right here, you have the 2 bedrooms. You have your laundry room right here. We'll show you guys the size of the bedrooms really quick. really good sized bedrooms up here. My two brothers actually share a bedroom in this one, so plenty of room. And then in the other bedroom, my two sisters, they share a bedroom in there, so plenty of space. Even if you have kids that need to share, you have your full bathroom here. And this is a good example of where down up here, they give you the laminate counters, so you don't have quartz countertops in the bathroom upstairs. In the kitchen, you have the quartz. Something that you're gonna see with CBH is some of these things will change, and obviously from house to house, it's gonna be different as well. And then this is bedroom number 2 upstairs. And as you can see, again, a pretty good sized bedroom, not gonna be small. And at 3,200 square feet, this is kind of what you would expect. And then from these 2 bedrooms, we're gonna go back through the flex space again, over to the master. And this will be one of the third things that's kind of a signature CBH thing, is how big their master bedrooms are. This is a really big master bedroom for this caliber of builder, or I guess this style, these starter home builders. And a lot of their second story floor plans that you guys will see have really big master bedrooms. And then it goes right into the master bathroom. You do get a bathroom in this one. There's not a ton of 2-story CBH homes that give you both the bath and the walk-in shower, so nice to have that. Then you have your walk-in closet through here. Pretty good size, pretty standard master closet, nothing crazy or nothing to write home about. And then you have your dual vanities right here, but pretty good sized master bathroom in this floor plan. And this gives you guys a really good idea of kind of what CBH looks like. And as we go through these homes, you're gonna see more and more the variation and finishes, but you're gonna get a good idea of CBH's style. And we're gonna continue to talk about the area, the things you need to know when looking at CBH's homes when you build here, because there are some challenges we come across with buying a CBH when you're moving here, especially when you need to sell your house before you move to Boise. So we'll talk about that. We'll look at a couple more of their floor plans and keep this video going. Okay, we're at home number 2, but before I do that, I forgot to give you guys the price on the first one. So for 3,200 square feet, basically a half-acre lot, it was $700,000, and we're in one of the top areas in the entire Boise area. We're in Meridian, not only Meridian, but we're in North Meridian, which is even more expensive. The only areas more expensive than here are really Eagle, Idaho, and that's it. So for $700,000, you get a 3,200 square foot home and almost half an acre. So the price point with CBH and the options that you have is just absolutely outstanding. Now, home number 2, this is one of their single stories. A lot of their single stories have a 3-car garage, which you guys can see. I mean, down this whole street, all of these houses have a 3-car garage. And this one is gonna be the Harrison 2025. So it's 2,025 square feet, 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms. Pretty typical of what we see. We see a lot of people moving here that want a 4-bedroom house. And so it fits a lot of people's needs while still giving you the 3-car garage. And again, like I said, we're gonna go through these houses fairly quickly because the whole goal is to just get you guys an idea of the floor plans. And then of course, in this video, we're gonna talk about quality, some of those misconceptions with CBH, some of the quality issues we've had in the past and where we're at now. But right here off the bat, we have a standard. We see this in so many houses, the 2 bedrooms up front. Give you guys an idea of the size of the bedroom really quick. Good sized bedrooms, nothing too small. And then we have a bathroom in between these 2. That is a full, and then again, you can see the finishes here with the laminate versus the quartz. Most CBHs are gonna have LVP flooring throughout the main living areas and hallways. I don't think I've ever seen a CBH where they have carpet in the living area. So you do get the LVP, and then you have the carpet in their bedrooms almost 100% of the time. The front bedroom is gonna be the same size as this one. And then this floor plan in the Harrison, I guess one downside is you do just have this long hallway with a bedroom here, the master there, which we'll take a look at here in a second. So not quite as open, but then it does open up into the vaulted with the kitchen over here to the left. And CBH is really known for having their single stories. They almost always have a vaulted ceiling. This floor plan is not quite as open as some of their other ones. Some of them, that hallway doesn't feel as crammed. You do get a vaulted ceiling throughout the whole thing, so keep that in mind. But in this floor plan, again, You do get the quartz countertops. You don't always get that in their kitchens. And then this cabinet style, it's one of their newer styles. Throughout this whole year, almost every house is gonna have it, where it's a little bit boxier, a little bit more modern, but that's what you get with CBH. A lot of them are gonna have backsplash. That's gonna vary as well, but gives you guys an idea of what some of these CBH homes look like. And before I go into, I guess, some of the misconceptions with CBH and things that we run into, want to let you guys know again, if you reach out to me, shoot me a text, shoot me a call, you get me as your agent. I'm not a transactional realtor. I'm not gonna just sell you a house and then peace out, and I'm not gonna push you to buy a house. I want what's best for you guys, but I'm gonna be the one answering my phone. It's my personal phone number. I'm gonna be the one walking you through houses, negotiating the homes. I'm gonna be the one sitting down with you, strategizing, seeing what's best for you, going over investment potential, areas. I always talk about suburbs, the most important part of moving to Boise, Idaho, and I spend a lot of time on that. And then we look at homes, all of those things. I'm here to build relationships and hopefully get to know you guys. So know that when you reach out to me, that's what you get. In the hallway, here's bedroom number 3 in this house. And as we're going through this, some of the misconceptions with CBH is, it was about 7 years ago, they did have really bad quality problems. They were essentially just throwing houses up, having structural issues, having quality issues, and it was a big problem. But now, today, they do build a really good home. Is what happened is they did, I think, go through quite a few lawsuits, and they really changed how they run their business. So they went from Corey Barton Homes, they rebranded to CBH Homes, they completely changed how they did business. It's completely, the infrastructure within their business is completely different. Their subcontractors are different, how they build homes is different. And so now they are one of the homes that I will sell. I love CBH Homes because they do give you an option that is unique. It is a lower end home, and what I mean by that is it's affordable and it's not gonna have all of the high-end finishes. It's not always gonna have 10-foot ceilings and tiled showers in the spare bathrooms, LVP throughout, or even real hardwood floors. So it gives you a blank slate. It gives you an option to get in and upgrade it as you go. And they build a lot of homes, so you have locations all over the valley. And one of those things I want to talk about is, I talked about the price at the beginning, $700,000. This home is listed at $499,000, but again, we're in Meridian. So this home in Kuna is gonna be right around 460-ish thousand, somewhere in that range. So a little bit cheaper. If you go out to Caldwell and Nampa, where they have a lot of communities, you're gonna be getting closer to the $400,000 mark. And for a 4-bedroom home, 2,000 square feet and a 3-car garage, that's a really good price. And so you have a lot of options with CBH. And one thing to show their quality is, I've talked with my inspector before, and he talked with him in a CBH home specifically, and he said that CBH does things that some of the higher end builders don't even do. Little things like insulating the piping in the crawl space, stuff like that. So you're getting a good home, but some of the things that you will find in CBH that I guess could be considered lower quality is like things like this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but sometimes their baseboards might sway out a little bit, or the backsplash in the kitchen or the bathroom might have some inconsistencies. So there's little things like that that you will notice. But one thing I love about CBH is they take care of their people really well. So like in a house, if we were to buy this and we went through inspection, this is something we would bring up and they would happily fix. As long as you have an agent that's willing to tell them, like, you need to fix those things, they're gonna fix those things. But those are some of the things that you're gonna see in pretty much every starter builder. Hubble Homes, Lennar is actually one of the builders that I will not sell for various reasons. They actually had a garage blow up the other month. So things like that, and they don't take care of their people. A lot of these national builders, they just don't take care of people as well. They're in the business of selling houses and that's it. CBH, they're a local builder. They love their people. They take care of everybody and they have a really good culture. So that's that. Let's show you guys the garage really quick so you guys can see some of these 3-car garages. The garage entrance is over there. We're gonna have to go around. Usually the garage entrance is here. This is the HVAC. Again, going back to authenticity, you guys are gonna get me. We'll go to the garage, which is actually at the front of the house. A lot of their single family floor plans don't have that garage entrance like this, so we'll take a look really quick. three-car garage is right here. Pretty standard CBH. A lot of these builders, they're not gonna have a finished garage. You don't have the extended third bay in a lot of these houses. Some of their 2 stories and some of their floor plans will have an extended 3-car, or they'll even have a 4-car where you get 2 bays stacked on top of each other. So wanted you guys to see what the floor plan or what the garages looked like before we go into the master of this one. And then of course, at the end, we're actually gonna go through the most affordable home in this community. That's 1,400 square feet and just much more affordable for those of you who might not need as much space as this. You don't need the 3-car garage, or maybe you just wanna, save some money. So we'll go over that at the end and continue to keep an eye out for Duck Norris. I'll send you guys that Starbucks gift card. Now we're in the master, and again, CBH, you can see how big this master is for a 2,000 square foot home. And again, it's one of the things that CBH does do a good job of. They give you a really big master bedroom in almost all of their houses, no matter the size. And then in here would be your master bathroom. And I love that they gave the quartz countertops in the master. They will do this a lot where the spare bathrooms, they'll give you the laminate. And then in the kitchen and in the master bathroom, they'll give you the quartz countertops. You have the built-in shelving right here, toilet here. There's no bathroom, of course, or a bathtub, no door here. So pretty unique, but master showers there, pretty standard. This is a lot of what CBH homes are gonna look like. But that's home number 2. So let's head over to the most affordable option out here and take a look at that one. Okay, now we're at the last house, which is the most affordable 3-car garage out here. It's the Willow 1860. So the floor plan is the Willow and it's 1,860 square feet. As you guys can see, the 3-car garage, more traditional look. And this is gonna be a community where a lot of these are 3-car garages, so they don't get into the extremely affordable options that we see. And the one in here that they did have was $450,000 with a really large lot, and that one was not finished, so we couldn't really show that to you guys. But in a lot of their other communities, they do have 1,400, even 1,200 square foot homes. And out here in Meridian, you can get those in the low 400,000s. Some of the ones in Caldwell and Kuna and Nampa, you can get down under 400,000. Some of the ones in Caldwell, you can even get into the $360,000 range. So quite a bit of affordable options, but wanted to show you this Willow. It's a really popular floor plan, and you guys will see here in a second. You got the 2 bedrooms up front, which is pretty standard, nothing crazy. We'll show you one of them just to give you guys an idea of size. And then in between those 2 is gonna be, your spare bathroom, full-size bathroom, same as the last 2 houses, but it will hopefully start to get you guys to see all these CBH houses. They're very similar style laminate and backsplash and paint styles and trim finishes. So wanted to show you guys that, and then we'll head into the living area of the Willow. And again, we're out here in Meridian, so it's a more expensive part of the valley. The cheapest parts are gonna be Caldwell, Middleton, and Nampa, and then Kuna is gonna be a little bit more expensive than those, but less expensive than Meridian and Star, and then Eagle and Boise are oftentimes gonna be your most expensive. But this floor plan and even these selections that they chose are absolutely great. These white quartz countertops with this gray cabinetry is actually nice. A lot of their kitchens, you won't get this nice of quartz. And one thing to note is if you guys look on CBH, on Zillow, or whatever it is, 90% of the time, the photos that you see in Zillow are not anywhere close to what you actually see in the house. And so just keep that in mind, because a lot of times, it's even hard as an agent because the listing photos are different. And so you kind of have to do a guessing game and just go look at a bunch of houses with CBH. So keep that in mind if you're looking at CBH houses and you're saving them in your favorites, that the photos on this house in particular might have been dark cabinets and a different color house. So keep that in mind. This one will give you guys an idea of, I guess, a more typical backyard space with CBH. So you guys can see, sometimes they have really big lots, but I'd say this is your average size CBH backyard, 6,000, 7,000 square feet lot. Your standard backyard, nothing too small, nothing too big. Give you guys a good idea of that. And then again, price point Meridian is gonna be more expensive, But one thing as you're watching these videos and why I'm emphasizing the floor plan so much is they sell in so many areas. They have like 9 communities in Kuna, they have 5 in Meridian, they have a ton in Star. And so the floor plan is what's the most important with CBH, because if you guys like the Willow or you like the Milano at the beginning, we can note that you love that floor plan, and then we just go look for it in whatever part of the valley that you guys end up loving. And that's the most important part, is picking your suburb. And so keep that in mind. Now we'll head into the master. Again, really good sized master bedroom. CBH, known for that. This one's not oversized, which I actually prefer, because if you're gonna have square space that's used, I'd rather have it in the living area or the office or the kitchen or whatever it may be. I don't necessarily need a huge master bedroom. And then this one, I love that they did this, is they gave you the quartz countertops in the master bathroom again. And so this one listed at just under 490,000, 3-car garage, 1,860 square feet with the quartz countertops in the kitchen and master, the LVP, all of that. Pretty good price point for out here where we're at in Meridian. This house in Kuna probably be about $30,000 less, so keep that in mind. Walk-in closet here, take a look at that. And that is home number 3 and just the beginning of CBH. So I'll continue to talk about it because it is so popular. Almost everybody that moves here, like I said, is gonna end up at least thinking about a CBH home. And so it's a really important one to know about. So subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on CBH, but also just moving to Boise. I try and provide you guys with as much value as possible, and drop comments below if you guys want to learn new things. But check out this video on Hayden Homes. They're one of CBH's main competitors. I live in a Hayden home. I love Hayden Homes, and oftentimes you're debating between Hayden or CBH. So check out this video here. Look forward to meeting you guys. Thank you for watching.